no matter what I did. Like when you're only black kid in the school, you can't like fade into the woodwork, if you will, fade into the background. So I was
Somehow
forced
I
to.
was able to.
I couldn't do it because I was the only black kid in my school, so I couldn't like be like, well, you know, I was, I mean, really, like, whether like it's kind of difficult being the only black kid in a school of just white people and people that aren't black because it's like for some reason there's this pressure on you to be the cool kid.
Yeah, I never really got that. I was
It's
the only black kid in my school, but
like, man, this party's boring.
got that.
Man, we better hope the one black kid we got can spice it up. It's like, look, I don't want to be here either. So then you had to basically be the life of the party. You had to be the hip, cool kid.
Which kind of is a restriction.
No, I mean, the thing is that I was hip and cool, but I mean, it's difficult always having to be cool. It's difficult always having to be the Johnny on the spot suave cool guy. It's hard, man. It's hard. It's hard. It's
I can
difficult.
understand that.
You know, you got to be the hey. You got to come up with the fun quips, the cool stories. You got to be socially responsible. It's a motherfucker. I hated it. But before we go any further, welcome to BS Busters. We are live with another episode of this channel, and this is a special one because, frankly speaking, I'm tired of talking about cancellations due to COVID-19. So instead, this is a special
everything. Let's just say it. Everything's been canceled. So
I was about to say, we got enough BS to clean up around here. We don't need that around.
Everything's been canceled or postponed or pushed back. So,
yeah.
I mean, frankly speaking, I'm tired of talking about the shit. But here's the good thing. For a lot of these digital conferences that didn't have to be physical conferences, like GDC, that didn't have to be a physical conference. GDC was just an excuse for these nerds, for these coding nerds to go to Germany and drink tons and tons of alcohol, visit the legal prostitution there, and get their pipes cleaned. That's really all it was. An excuse for them to have fun, because I've been to bar owner association conferences, restaurant association conferences, and I can tell you right now, all it is, people are like, well, it's so that you can meet your peers in the industry. No, it's an excuse for these people to go and get really, really
Hammered.
get hammered, eat bad food, hang out with women and men, and party with their peers. That's all it really is. Yeah, there's some business going on, but the business is like the big tier people, like the high tier upper echelon people. Small little indie type people, they're just there to just have some fun, get their shit comped, and have some fun. And listen, everyone deserves everyone deserves a period of time
To enjoy themselves?
Yeah, where they can relax and blow shit off. But before we go any further, let's have everyone introduce themselves. Starting with the lady. We'll let the lady go first. Introduce yourself.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages. Welcome to the SSR Sunday Podcast Time Show. I'm Moonstar, and we're about to dive into some open world today.
That's right. But speaking of Kenoshi, go ahead.
This is Kenoshi Abominito glad to be on another one of these BS Busters.
All right.
And of course, our host, Mr. Red Fox himself.
Yeah, it's me, Mr. Red Fox, owner proprietor BS Busters, and today, well, we're talking about some. Well, I mean, our main topic is gonna be about GTA. all things GTA. What are our favorites GTAs? What do we like about the ones that we do like? What do we dislike about the ones we don't like? And what would be our idealized perfect GTA game? But before we do, I bought Borderlands 3 on Steam yesterday, or was it Friday? Yesterday or Friday, one of the two. And
Yesterday was Friday.
Yeah, it was Friday. And I just want to give you some of my first impressions. Kenoshi has Borderlands as well, so I guess we can concur and talk about it a little bit. But Borderlands 3. I just feel that the title's a little misleading. It should really be called Borderlands 2.5.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
This game has been into development for like 5 or 6 years. It doesn't feel like it. It really doesn't. It feels like they made this game 4 years ago and then stopped working on it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's. I would actually agree with you on that. I still enjoy it. I still enjoy playing it, but yeah it's really Borderlands 2.5.
Yeah, I mean it's good, but it's unambitious.
Yeah, it's safe.
Yeah,
Very safe.
It's unambitious. It basically feels like the Majora's Mask to Borderlands 2 Ocarina of Time. It's like it's like this is good. I am enjoying it, but this feels like a new game expansion to the first to Borderlands 2.
Yeah.
And Borderlands 2 felt like Borderlands 1.5. So I mean, you know, it's
almost there. We almost have Borderlands 3, everybody.
yeah. So hopefully the next Borderlands game, of course, if Gearbox follows their normal trend where they just put out a whole bunch of, they use that same engine and put out a whole bunch of other shit, set in the same universe. Like here's my issue. Okay, the same problems that you had in Borderlands 1 and 2 and Borderlands the pre-sequel. And Borderlands, that's it. Borderlands 1 and 2 and the pre-sequel. The same fucking issues are in this game. You still, like, if you have a sniper rifle and you snipe a motherfucker from across a map, in the head, all these enemies will spawn and start chasing your ass down. Why? You still don't have flying vehicles for your characters. The enemies have flying vehicles. You don't. At least not that I'm aware of. I've been... You know, I pretty much just started this game, and when I played it at a friend's house, I was playing their save, and they were someplace where there weren't flying vehicles, but I'm guessing there are flying vehicles in this game for your main characters. You know, what they added in the game is that you've got multiple, like they took the massive skill tree that you had in the first 2 games, and they broke it into 3 parts, so now you can equip at any given time bits and pieces of 2 different skill trees, which is nice.
Yeah.
But I mean, these are like quality of life increases, not like, oh my god, this is ground changing. This is earth shaking of change right here. You still can't really go into buildings unless they were built to go into. The main villains, the Calypso twins, not nearly as interesting a villain as Handsome Jack, who was a motherfucker. That son of a bitch needed to die. You know?
Yeah, I just seem more like school bullies versus versus like Jack wanted to take over the world and gain like.
And plus,
they just come off as mean school bullies.
And plus, Jack was a total piece of shit.
Yeah.
You know, like what he did to his daughter.
I just read your post on Facebook. Was that about me?
You know, he was not a nice person.
No, he was really bad and he needed to die.
Yeah. It was especially personal for me because in Borderlands 1, my main was Roland. So he basically killed my main character from Borderlands 1. I was like, oh, no, you didn't.
What, Jackie?
Yeah. You killed my main character from Borderlands 1. You gots to die. You know? Because, I mean, as a black person, it's really hard to have people of color in video games. And so when you get one, it's like, man, I gotta play as that character. They killed off the one. I mean, really? Come on. Which is, I mean, basically, Handsome Jack killing off Roland was kind of bullshit because, I mean, this is a character who was one of the original Vault Hunters in Borderlands 1. It's kind of like how they did in Chrono Cross where Lynx kills off Luca. I'm like, this woman fought the Devourer of Worlds and she gets killed off by this scrub? Really?
Yeah.
That makes no sense. But whatever. But anyway, yeah. So my first impressions of Borderlands 3 is that it doesn't feel like a true sequel to Borderlands. I wish they would have pushed the envelope further. Because here's the thing. They don't have to change the core gameplay of Borderlands, but they could do some things like if you're playing a sniper build and you're sniping enemies, that you can actually snipe them and they don't know where you are. If you play as a stealthy character, you actually can stealth enemies. If you're playing as a melee, they still haven't gotten a true melee-based character. And I know they tried to do it with Brick the Berserker and the Gunzerker, but not really. Because their primary attack were weapons, and like when they went into the Gunzerker, they didn't even try. They were using guns. And Brick was like, that was his overdrive, was punching enemies and, smash them into giblets. So it just feels, how can I put this? It feels like basically Borderlands 3 feels like an improvement on Borderlands 2 and not a new game set in that universe, which is disappointing, but I'm still enjoying the game. Like, I don't mind spending $50, which is how much I spent, plus minus the $10 credit that I had on Steam for something else. So really, I paid like $40 for it. And I got the Super Deluxe Edition, which has the Season Pass and all the content and all that stuff. So Epic didn't get my money. Ha 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 ha.
Yeah.
Yeah, I laughed. Shaking fist. You ain't getting shit from me.
One of the few times I agree with you. At least with money.
You ain't getting shit.
You know what you're getting, Epic? Jack and shit.
Yeah. That's what
And
you
Jack
got.
probably left town already.
Yeah, you getting Jack and shit, and Jack left the building a long time ago. And shit got flushed, so there you go.
Nice way to steal my joke.
Yeah. So there you go, folks.
Yeah. So thing about the GTA stuff is I haven't really played GTA games. I think the only GTA game I played was GTA 4, and I didn't get through all of that.
Yeah, GTA 4 is rough. It's hard to get into that game. The reason GTA 4 is rough is because it's not as like the problem with GTA is that for me the golden age of GTA was the 6th gen. Like that was when you got some of the best GTA games. And so I'm talking like GTA, San Andreas, Vice City, and Chinatown Wars. And I would include Bully with that too, just because Bully is kind of like a GTA but on a smaller scale. And then like, and then the 7th gen came along and everyone was trying to like basically Rockstar's like, well, we need to we're about telling these deep stories. When really, in my opinion, the best GTA games are the ones that parody pop culture. So like GTA Vice City is a parody of like the 80s in South Florida, specifically Miami. GTA San Andreas is a parody of gangster, those hood movies from the 1990s, late 80s, early 90s. And then, but I mean, there's a deeper message in there, like GTA San Andreas. Yeah, that's a parody of the Hood movies. But if you understand the history of America, when you basically found out that this special drug crime task unit in the LAPD was basically the cops were planting evidence in order to get convictions and robbing people and assaulting people, and it just like really total corruption. And that's why you had the LA riots in the 90s, was because of that shit. The cornerstone was with the Rodney King thing, where these people beat the shit out of this man and got off for it. Well, they were just doing their job. He was resisting arrest. You know, but I mean, just the legacy. I mean, so yeah, they made a video game, but there was some real world connection to that. You know, Vice City, yeah. It's kind of like, well, it's kind of a play on 80s Crockett and Tubbs, LA Vice, that type of shit. But I mean, there was a major drug, heroin and cocaine were a big thing in the 80s in, you know, South Florida and stuff like that. So, I mean, you know, and, you know, I think Vice City, I think Vice City and San Andreas had some of the best character of the GTA series. Like, the soundtrack for those games is still really good. And you know, there's missions that people who played those games remember and think fondly of. And then you've got you know, Vice City, which sucks. I mean, not Vice City. You got GTA 4. GTA 4, which sucks.
Yeah, I wasn't really trying to be anything. At least not that I'm aware of.
I mean, they were trying to basically tell the story of someone coming to America and find out the American dream is bullshit. The problem is that Nico Bellic is a completely unlikable protagonist.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, there's no one in GTA 4 that I'm like, wow, I like this character.
Yeah. I mean, that was the interesting aspect of it, is the whole American dream, aspect of coming to America and then realize, but you know, it's not like it's super original. I guess. I remember seeing that. What was that? What was that kids movie about the mice and the cats?
Mouse.
About the cats wanting to go to, or the mice wanting to go to America or going to somewhere.
Fievel.
Fievel, yeah. Or essentially, yeah, it's sort of like a metaphor on the American dream. It's like, oh, if we go to America, everything will be better, and you know, and then turns out they won't go to America, and there are cats there too. So I don't know.
But
whatever. What about GTA with horses?
I mean,
not doing it for me?
Red Dead?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like, I find Red Dead just, I find Red Dead to be boring. Just really fucking boring. Like, Red Dead is just so boring. Like, it's...
Did you ever try playing the second one?
I mean, I've played both of them. I played Red Dead when it was still the you know the first when it was Red Dead Revolver from Capcom,
yeah.
And it's just boring. Like Red Dead is just a boring title. It's boring. It is. Like, because here's the thing: when you play people, it's kind of a false dichotomy to claim that it's essentially like, people are like, well, it's essentially like, people are always like, well, it's like GTA, but it isn't. You know?
Yeah.
Like, because with GTA, when you don't have anything to do, right? When you're bored out of your damn mind, right? You can do what you do in the real world, which is you can get in your car, turn on the radio, and drive around looking for something to do. There's other things you can do in and especially if you're talking like the 6th gen GTAs that have great music. Like I can turn on the radio and listen to The Whispers. I can listen to Michael Jackson. I can listen to Philip Bailey and Philip shit, I forgot his name.
Mostly all kinds of songs that are from a certain time period, right?
I can listen to Earthwind. I can listen to Philip Bailey and Phil Collins. That's the name. Philip Bailey and Phil Collins do Easy Lover. Like I can listen to some really good music while driving around looking for something to do, or do missions and stuff and earn stuff. And Red Dead is like the cowboy experience. And you find out how shitty and miserable life was back then.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I am not impressed. Okay, that's all I'm saying. All right. So people.
I can already imagine.
It's boring. It's so boring.
Yeah, I just know that a lot of people at work really like the game. It's like all they talked about for like 2 weeks when Red Dead 2 came out.
No, man, it's too boring for me. It's too boring. It's too it's boring. And I know some people say, well, look at the graphics. Man, I don't care about graphics.
You have to be a graphics squad to use that excuse.
The graphics are nice and all, but if you ain't gonna be entertained by it, then what the heck?
Yeah.
Reason of playing it.
It's boring. It's boring and
We're having trouble finding words, aren't we?
Yeah.
No, it's just it's boring. It's just boring, and it's like, I mean, I know there are people who like shit like that, but I'm not impressed. Like, I know some people love it, but I'm not one of those people. Like, it's boring to me. Like, I would rather personally speaking, I would rather play like, I mean, because I guess the reason I don't like Red Dead any of the Red Dead games is because they're just so fucking boring. You know?
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
It's bread. It's vanilla without the flavor.
And plus,
Right?
I've already played a superior Red Dead game before Red Dead came out called Gun, which basically does the same shit, but it's done better.
Gun was that fun?
Yeah, Gun is a surprisingly good game. It's one of those games where you're like, oh man, this is surprisingly good, legitimately good. So
Some people are entertained by just running around the whatever, running around the old west on a horse.
I mean,
no, that's all right.
I mean, that doesn't bother me, but it's like, here's the thing. For me, a game has to be fun.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it has to be, like I said, if you're not gonna if you're not gonna have fun with it, it doesn't matter how good it looks or how good the voice acting is or how good the story is. If it's a boring game, it's a boring game.
You know? And for me, Red Dead Redemption and Red Dead Redemption 2 are just, they suffer from the cardinal sin of being boring. Like,
Yeah.
and people are like, I guess you want to know why they're boring, because they basically, what Gun did and Red Dead fails in is that Red Dead tries to be too fucking realistic, because the 1800s is just a terrible time to live. Like,
Yeah.
like, there was never a better time to live. Like, people keep on saying, man, the good old days. There are no good old days. Shit has progressively gotten better. Okay, even when things are bad, it's still not as bad as it could have been had it been 100 years ago. You know, like, you hear these old people, the good old days, the good old days. What are you talking about? The good old days.
When have the old days been ever good?
You know, it's like, people are like, well, back in the 50s. Oh, you mean when black people got the shit kicked out of them and had dogs
Yeah,
sicked on them?
Yeah, that's the part that always bugged me about the whole traditionalism crowd.
You know, the good old
Like,
days.
not everything about traditionalism is good.
Which kind of makes me wonder, where the heck are these people coming from?
I mean, how long have you, the good old days. I'm going to tell you something. I'll tell you what's good about the good old days. I remember, like, I remember when, it was, I remember when it was okay. Well, when it was okay. Like, I remember when I was younger where, like, it used to be not acceptable, but it wasn't as big a thing for people to say, oh, that's gay.
Yeah.
But now that's not acceptable.
Yeah.
That's not,
Yeah,
like,
certainly remember that too.
like, I remember when I was a little kid not a little kid, but younger, and people were like, man, stop acting like a faggot. And we weren't like trying to say something disparaging as in, oh man, how dare you. It was just like, look, you are not acting as masculine as you should be acting, so man the fuck up. But we weren't articulate enough to say that, so we just said, stop acting like a faggot.
Yeah.
Okay? But you can't say shit like that now.
Yeah. Yeah, you definitely can't. You will get in trouble if you see that.
You know? And that doesn't bother me. Like, I'm not mad about that. Like, I mean, we live in a better age, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm okay with that. Like, people are like, oh man, you can't do that. I'm okay with that.
Things evolve. Especially human rights.
You know, I'm okay with not being a dick because you don't like
certain things.
Yeah, I'm okay, you know? I'm okay with not being a dick because of stuff like that. Like, I'm okay not being an asshole because you don't like certain people, you know? I don't know why people do that. You know, they're dicks because they don't like somebody. You know? So, you know.
Having the license to be a prick is kind of out of style, as far as I know.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like, okay, let me put it this way. It is good that, like, technology has made things so much easier. Like, I remember back in the day, if you wanted to, let's say, hypothetically, I want to write research, I want to do a research paper. You'd have to go to a library, and then you'd have to hope that they had books based on what you were doing research on. If you were looking for primary, secondary, or tertiary sources, half the time, half the shit that you would find in order for primary sources, you might find one or two primary sources and a whole bunch of secondary and tertiary sources. So basically not good enough to really add credence to what you were researching and as using as definitive sources for what you were writing your paper on. Now you can go on the internet and find that shit on the internet. Someone already did the research. All you got to do is find it, do a hyperlink on it, put it in your paper, and boom, all the information where you got your information from. That's amazing.
It's incredible how technology evolved research.
Technology.
Too bad some people in this world don't believe in research.
I mean, it's unfortunate that 70% of the internet is used for pornography, but that 30% that isn't is awesome.
Yeah.
I was going to say, where the heck did that number come from?
Well, that's an estimation that people make. They believe that 70% of the internet is used for pornography, and the other.
Some people have interesting stats.
The other 30% is not used for pornography.
That's all I'm saying. Those people have some interesting stats.
But hey, you know, I could be wrong. But anyway, yeah, I get tired of people with that, oh man, you know, how dare you, sir? It's like, man, that's just the way it is. You know?
True.
But anyway, yeah. For me, my favorite GTA game has been, is, and will always be, San Andreas, followed by Vice City. I love it. It's pretty good.
I'm not surprised, but it's pretty neat to know.
But yeah, what I like about GTA, what I like about San Andreas is and Vice City is that they have characters of their own and they feel distinctly different from other games, and especially San Andreas. San Andreas is very ambitious. I don't think you've seen Rockstar be as ambitious with a GTA game than they were in San Andreas. What I mean by this is, like, it's got like 5 distinct areas, 3 different cities, and each one feels different. Las Venturas feels different from San Andreas, which feels different from San Fierro. They all feel different. Green County feels different from the desert. Like every area feels different, and the types of things you have to deal with in each of those areas is different. So, it doesn't feel samey. Whereas GTA 5, like, there's really no distinction yet. San Andreas feels like San Andreas, but if you leave San Andreas, like other areas just feel like satellites to San Andreas. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is a completely different area. The same thing with GTA 4. Like, GTA 4, like, the people who hype that game up, oh yeah, this is a great game. I'm like, really? Go back and play GTA 4. It's not a good game.
No, it's pretty trashy.
I would say it's a mess.
I mean, it is not a good game by any stretch of the imagination. It is. Nico Bellic is annoying. And,
Yeah, I can imagine how much pain that you had to suffer for that one.
But anyway, yeah, GTA 4, like, I bought that game on PC. But here's the thing, GTA 4, the base game sucks. The expansions are actually pretty good. Lost in the Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony, pretty good. But the main game is trash.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah, so I've heard good things about the expansion stuff. I think that's all people talk about when they talk about GTA 4 these days.
Yeah, GTA 4, like, the base game is kind of trash, but the Ballad of Gay Tony is really good, and Lost and Damned is really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, GTA 4 is not that good. GTA 5 would be good if they would focus on 1 or 2 characters, but they add Trevor into that, and some people love playing as Trevor. I've never played a GTA where I'm just a psychopath just murdering the shit out of people for no goddamn reason. Like, in GTA games, when I kill people, it's because they fucked with me. Whereas Trevor is a psychopath. He fucks with people. He kills people who were just trying to do the right thing. He just murders the shit.
He kills people for insulting his mom.
No,
actually, about him.
Not really. No, there's a guy who's Trevor's cousin, like second or third cousin, and he kills the guy because he's like, look, you're fucking up my life. You're getting me in trouble. You're messing with my relationship with my girlfriend, and he kills him and his girlfriend. Like, Trevor is a total piece of shit. And some people are like, I love that character.
Love this guy?
I'm like, why? Why? Like, why would you like
an a-hole like that?
Yeah.
It's writing in to know how people like the crazy ones.
So, you know, that's just me. I know some people might disagree. So, I guess we're talking about open world. So, are there any open world stuff? Is there any open world stuff that you guys would like? Open world games that you guys think would you think could work?
Maybe, but I'm not entirely sure because, well, I'm really not an open world fan myself, but I could see at least some of the things that people love about open worlds. I just have a feeling that one of the few things that open world haven't done fully in a sense would be crafting, but then again, you usually are able to find all kinds of resources in the open world by just hunting around or beating some unlucky soul up.
But that's just me. That's my.
Yeah, after going back to GTA 5, after I heard about that whole torture scene, I was just kind of like, I don't know if I really want to play that game. I don't even really know why you're torturing them, but actually torturing somebody, I don't know.
Yeah, there's a scene.
To torture somebody, but
Yeah, there's a scene where you have to do that, and it's just kind of like.
what
It's
the
because
heck?
you're trying to get information for something, so it's like, you know.
It just sounds like a little much.
I mean,
At least for me.
I
At least for
mean,
me. And if you're all right with that,
I
that's
mean,
your
look,
business.
listen. For let me put it this way: in the grand scheme of things of a GTA game, it makes sense. But I could understand why people would be like, okay, that's a bridge too far.
Yeah.
You know, Rockstar did that, but Rockstar is no stranger to controversy. I mean, these are the people who made Manhunt 1 and 2. And those games are all about killing people in horrific ways.
Oh yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to play something like that. I mean, again, if you're into that, well, that's your business. I don't know what to
Well,
tell
I
you.
mean, I have Manhunt 1 and 2. I have Manhunt 1 on PS2 and Manhunt 2 on the Wii.
Enough said.
Yeah, I'm a sick fuck. I admit it. Those darker impulses. I mean, I'm the person who will tell you that the best version of the Godfather open world game is on the Wii Black Hand Edition because you can use the motion control to strangle a motherfucker to death. and then punch them in the face 3 or 4 times and then throw their asses into a oven. Yeah, it's pretty fucked up. But hey, man, it's The Godfather. It's if you've seen those movies or read the book, it's not nice. Bad shit happens in The Godfather. Bad shit happens all the time.
How's the book compared to the movie? Is the book pretty decent?
I'm gonna be honest with you. The book is actually better than the movie. Like this is one of the few times where the movie is good. I mean, The Godfather Part 1 and 2 are some of the best movies ever made. The book is even better because the book basically goes in depth, like shit that's hinted at or mentioned in the movie. Because it's got a 3.5 hour long runtime. If you get the special director's edition cut, like the book is like long. It's like 600, 700 pages. So like they can really go in depth about who these characters are, what they've done, why some people are happy, certain people die, and why certain people were killed in certain ways. I love it.
Is it only one book or is it a series of books?
What, The Godfather? It's one book. It's one
okay.
book, but later on Mario Puzo did like a sequel, a prequel that basically tells the rise of Vito Corleone. And
Okay.
they're like basically here's the thing. Here's why The Godfather Part 3 is such a disappointment. Um is that The Godfather is essentially um like Godfather, The Godfather Part One is the rise of Michael Corleone, where you see him become a hero, right? Save his family. The Godfather Part Two is where you see Michael become a villain, and The Godfather Part Three was going to be Michael basically having this fight, this battle with his brother Tom, who is Tom is the guy that they adopted, the Irish guy that they adopted. And you were going to have this war between these two brothers because basically they're brothers. They were raised together. He's like that. Like even Michael's like, yeah, that's my brother. You know, they might not be brothers of the same family. He's not Sicilian, but that's his brother. So that would have been a really interesting thing going on, and they just fucked that up. So.
Well, I'm not surprised.
So, I would love a, you know, like I mean, I would love another Godfather game. I mean, could you imagine a GTA game set in Could you imagine?
Timeline?
Well, a GTA type game set in a fantastical universe.
Yeah.
Where you've got like magic and shit.
Yeah. That'd be cool. Like be like modern day, except you have you have magic.
Steal some shit from Bright, except make it good.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine you're a drug dealer, but the drug in a world where magic exists is like magic. So like people are like dealing pixie dust. It's like cocaine. People are snorting pixie dust, and it gives them magic powers and shit.
Yeah. That'd be pretty cool if they did something like that.
Like your character's getting high and shit. That'd be awesome.
Yeah.
But we don't get that shit.
We get watered.
So, you know.
Speaking of open world, what do you guys think of that Cyberpunk 2077? Is that what it is?
Every time I see that
it's
game...
ambitious.
No, go ahead, Jewel.
I would say it's ambitious, but I could say that it's reaching for the stars and likely gonna either is gonna touch one or, well, we're gonna have a mess.
Yeah, that game, like here's the thing. If it was anyone else making this game, I would be worried. But it's CD Projekt Red, so
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, as I said, they're reaching for the stars, and they're either gonna touch one or, well, it's gonna be a mess. And I'm hoping that they touch the stars.
Yeah, I think it was supposed to come out either this month or next month, but it was pushed back to September.
What 3D Projekt? Well, they already pushed that back because it was supposed to come out. Well, I think April.
Yeah.
Like April or May, it was supposed to come out, and then they pushed it back to September or October, November, something like that. Which, I mean, really, I think the reason they pushed it back is because they're putting it on the Xbox One, the Sexbox and the PS5.
Yeah.
That's
Which
what
I heard nothing about these two consoles except, and Microsoft showed something, but it was practically nothing. They just teased that, we're making the console. Here's what it looks like. But we don't have any like game lineups or anything yet.
Yeah, I mean, well, they already told us the first 2 years of this console, there's not going to be any exclusives.
Yeah.
So, man, I can't believe this shit. The NRA is
Yeah.
trying to hire me. Man, fuck those bastards. Um, anyway, that's weird, But anyway, yeah. Personally, I can't take it. But yeah, as far as what's shit what am I trying to say? As far as
Hopeful open world games.
As far as open world games, could you imagine an open world game set in a sci-fi universe? Like the types of cool, out of the place type of weapons you could use. Could you imagine a sandbox GTA style game set in a Star Wars type universe? Not Star Wars itself, because Star Wars is kind of shitty these days. But
I was about to say it's a mess right now.
yeah, but could you imagine set in that type of universe where you have to like make shady deals with aliens and like get a ship, steal people's ships, and vehicles and shit, throw a motherfucker out a speeder?
That would make some pretty epic. That would make some pretty epic stuff to tell, and do almost anything you want.
They're like, break yourself, fool! You got to get off. You got to break yourself and get out and fly in salsa, baby. So that'd be hilarious to me. That would be hilarious to me. I don't know if it's true, but it would be hilarious to me. But that's just me. So we've waxed poetic about GTA. So anyone have any topics they want to bring up before we wrap things up? Anything they want to get off their chest, rant about?
No, I saw. I don't know if he's got a chance to see Liger's video last night or a couple nights ago. His rant about people about the about cloud well, he talked about how people are kind of salty about the not getting a direct or whatever. Shadow Fox's comment about worrying more. I thought it wasn't, the greatest comment where he was talking about where he said that the company to worry about is like Google and Amazon with their cloud-based services.
I'd be agreeing with him on that.
I wouldn't say Amazon so much, because Amazon's cloud-based services, from the limited fashion that they exist in, is actually not shitty. But Google, yeah, basically Google Hangouts and Google Plus had to die to give us Stadia, and Stadia is shit. Yeah. I mean, it's.
I was about to say, Stadia, it's not just cheap, it's beyond cheap. It's the most epic.
I mean, it's clear that
unbridled piece of beef ever.
Yeah, Stadia is just
I'm sorry, I can't help but make joke of them, how they make joke of themselves of how they advertise their own product.
Yeah, like it's just a waste of it's a waste of
utilities.
It's a waste of resources.
Yeah.
Because they could clearly do better shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like you could be spending so much more energy on better things than this, and yet here you are spending time and energy on this bullshit, which is what it is. So.
And this is from the same people that they're having a console that has no exclusives for nearly 3 years.
I mean, that's the thing that kind of bothers me about like the people who are really excited about this new Xbox. I'm like, why? It doesn't have any exclusives.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean,
Here's the thing that really kills me, and I have to wonder, are they smoking something? This one line that exclusives are not the reason you buy a game system.
well, I mean, it's clear to me that at this point, this is just me. It's clear to me from what I've seen that Microsoft is transitioning away from a traditional console ecosystem, which makes sense because let's keep it real. They haven't been able to
win a console.
Yeah, they haven't had a successful console. So, I mean, and when I say successful, I mean they haven't had a console that's come out and done really well, right? So, I mean, I don't know what to say to you, but you know.
I mean, you know, maybe the service thing will work out a lot better for them.
I mean, let's get real, okay? The way gaming is now, I know some people are going to get mad at me when I say this, but here's the thing, okay? The people who want a direct, I'm going to keep it real, okay? Nintendo has been really quiet.
Yeah.
Okay?
That I cannot deny.
Okay, they've been real quiet. Typically speaking, when Nintendo's this quiet, they normally drop some type of surprise direct or something like that. But even when they normally drop something, it's like, here's the thing, okay? Here's my problem with the Switch. Nintendo has a successful console. They're starting to get arrogant again.
Yeah.
And that,
yeah, they are.
like, you know, and when Nintendo gets arrogant, they start fucking up, okay? Typically speaking, they start fucking up. Now, here's the thing. Most of the time when they fuck up, I enjoy it. Like, I enjoyed the Wii U. I enjoyed the GameCube. Yep. I enjoyed the N64. But we got those consoles because Nintendo was fucking up, okay? But here's the thing, okay? Like, now they're starting to fuck up where they're doing shit that's like, okay, it wouldn't hurt you to actually do this. It wouldn't hurt them to at least give people some information about new shit coming down the pipeline. It wouldn't hurt them to, you know, talk about these things. It's not gonna, you know, it's not gonna hurt people buying the Switch. As a matter of fact, people will buy more Switches and spend more money. Because like I said, I have a Switch. I haven't turned this shit on in a month. No, that's not true. I was playing. I finally beat Tokyo Mirage Sessions.
Sharp FP.
I beat the re-release on the Switch that I paid like $30 for. I beat that game about 3.5 weeks ago, so almost a month ago. Okay, but aside from that, I haven't turned this shit on. I totally want to be able to turn on my Switch and play games on it. But most of the big AAA, most of the big games that are on the system that I've bought, I've already beaten. Or, like, I can play better on PC. So, yeah. It's like, you know, you need to give me a reason to turn on my system, dude. Okay, and look, I mean, I would play some of those retro games, but it's like, because I haven't turned on my Switch for a long time, and it hasn't connected to the internet, it won't let me use the virtual library because of the DRM on the thing. You know, because back in the day you could download the fucking games and then just play them whenever you wanted to, but we can't do that now.
No.
So yes, it would be. Look, Jewel, just because it doesn't bother you doesn't mean it's not an issue. Okay.
You're not winning this one with me, Red.
Okay, just because something is too spicy for me to eat doesn't mean if it's too spicy for other people to eat doesn't mean I say, well, or something that's spicy and I enjoy it but other people can't eat it. Well, you need to man up.
I'm saying that
deal with that shit.
No, Red. I'm saying that if it's too spicy for one, it's not spicy for others, it's mostly a one problem. It's mostly a individual problem rather than a group problem.
I would normally agree with you if it was something that was suitable to taste, but this is something inherently wrong with the system. This isn't some people just like things more spicy than others. It's not like, well, some people want to be able to play their games
inherently wrong.
Other people, I don't know if I can get to it.
You're biting close to the opinion, so you're aiming there, buddy.
No, that's an inherent flaw. Okay. It's like having a car that has shitty mileage. That's not like, well, you might not, just because you aren't going far enough where the shitty mileage is going to affect you doesn't mean that the mileage
That's
is shitty.
The thing that bugs me. You're saying that it's not going far enough. I'm saying it's going far enough, and yet we're arguing in circles about it.
No, we're not arguing in circles about it. You're saying that because it doesn't affect you, it's not an issue. I'm saying that even if it doesn't affect you, it's still an issue.
It's not a big issue. That's what I'm saying.
Yes. I mean, you might not see it as a big issue, but it's an issue. It's...
Can we at least agree that there's something?
I mean, okay, let me put it this way. To be honest with you, and, to put all outrage aside, I don't give a shit, because I have internet, and I could easily rectify that by putting it, letting my switch, turning my switch on and letting it ping off the internet. But the thing is that's too many steps when, before with the online, I could just download a game and play it whenever the fuck I wanted. No, let me just make sure that pings on the internet and the library updates and it handshakes with the system so it knows that I'm in good stead with my account. I don't like that. I don't like people having control over me being able to play my games. I don't like that. That bothers me.
That's why I don't see why, there are certain people out there who's like, oh, cloud gaming is going to be it's
future.
Going to be the future tomorrow.
No, like 5 years. I would say 5 to 10. I say 5 years you'll get a stable system that really works, and in 10 years you'll get a system that's just ubiquitous and works. Not anytime soon. Not next year. Not the year after next. I say we won't see really good cloud-based gaming until 2025 or 2026.
2030.
I give it 5 years. I give it 5 to 6 years. I'm not gonna say a decade because
I said 2030 because of what Stadia has done.
Yeah, but I mean, okay, Stadia sucks, but then you have GeForce Now, which is pretty good. So
yeah, but as I said,
it has problems, but it's definitely better than Stadia.
I mean, because here's the thing. Stadia overpromised and underdelivered. GeForce is like, look, it's 1080p, 60 frames per second. We ain't trying to do all this special shit.
Yeah, but I said 2030 because that's probably how long it's going to take before something like Stadia could try to rise up again and
the thing is that if you use Stadia as the benchmark, you're not going to see something stable until 2030. But I don't think using Stadia as the benchmark is a fair assessment. I think you got to use something like GeForce. I said that
because they think that's from a major company and stuff.
Yeah, but I mean, it's like the people in the Ford's article where they're like, yeah, we don't trust Google because Google abandons shit left and right. Google's like, oh, this shit's not working. Bye.
That's another thing to add on Google's hit list, especially specifically. But if anything, I'm trying not to base it on Google, but when a big company is doing so badly, it kind of hurts like a truck saying technology get sent backwards in a sense.
Well, I mean, like I said, I personally believe that the Switch can. I mean, not the Switch. I personally believe that. I mean, I personally think that. I think that you'll see a viable. You'll probably see a viable. You'll see a viable. You'll see a viable online cloud-based online gaming service in about 5 years. When I say viable, I mean one where you'll see major publishers on board, not pulling shit because they aren't getting their cut. But it will not be Google. It will not be Google Stadia. And if it is something from Google, it'll be very, it'll be completely different from what they're doing right now. Because what Stadia is right now is not a viable, like it can't exist. Because I mean, it just it's trash. Stadia is trash. It's fucking trash. Like there's no reason for anyone to want this. Hey guys, we're Stadia. You just keep on fucking up, huh?
No kidding there.
Hey guys, we're Stadia. How's it going? Don't you get it, guys? We're Stadia. We're cool, bro.
Yeah. Cool like ice cubes.
So, yeah, I do think that in the next 5 years we'll probably get like a stable. It's not going to be 4K, 8K, any of that shit. It'll probably be like at the highest end maybe 2K, and you'll probably pay it'll probably be like $20 a month, and you'll have access to, and it'll probably be from Microsoft. Okay. Actually, I think that's already their thing. It's gonna be xCloud 2.0. That's what it's gonna be. You'll pay $20 a month and you'll have access to a huge library of games, and that'll be your cloud-based gaming. And Microsoft will clean house with it because that's a really good deal. You pay $20 and you get access to hundreds of games. Maybe 30% of them are AAA. The other 70% range from AA to like indies. And that's going to be the future. That's going to be one of the viable ways that people are going to game. Because why spend $60 on one game when you can spend like $100 a year and have access to thousands? There you go. And that's the future of gaming, folks. I mean, you'll have some dinosaurs like myself. I want physical or else, motherfucker. But like the dinosaurs, we're a dying breed. Well, actually, we're evolving. We're evolving. The dinosaurs didn't go extinct. They evolved. If you don't believe me, go on YouTube and look up Shoebill. Those damn things, you see them walk around and look at things. It's like, that's not a bird. That's a goddamn dinosaur. But yeah, that's my opinion. I know some people will disagree because everyone disagrees with everything. Even if you don't agree with it, they're like, "How could you say that?" I can very easily say that because I can do that. So anyway, anyone else have anything else they want to say about anything? Anything?
No, not that I know of on the spot.
No, not really.
All right. Well, I guess we can do one free fun topic. So recently it came out that they're making a Super Mario Lego, but it's not what you think. Like when I first saw it, I'm like, oh, so Lego finally pulled their head out of their ass and they're making a Nintendo 2 collectively, and they're making like a Mario themed Lego set. Nope. No, it's essentially a interactive board game.
Yeah.
And I kind of deflated a little bit inside. I was like,
I'm actually happy about it.
I was like, really? I felt like Big Smoke in GTA San Andreas. It's like you had one job.
Hey, board games are still alive. I mean, come on.
All I wanted was just a Mario themed Lego set.
Have you checked Cool Stuff Inc?
All I wanted was a Mario themed Lego set. That's it. That's all.
And you said you're a dinosaur. You're more evolved.
That's all I wanted. I just want a Mario. Well, because I mean, like, here's the thing. Everyone has their, like I said. I mean, I said this before. I don't give a shit about Mario Maker, but I love Legos. Like, you know, I've built Lego shit. I applied to be one of the Lego engineers. I didn't make it, but I applied. I'm the guy who has like the Lego Millennium Falcon, the Lego X-Wing, the Lego TIE Advanced, which is Darth Vader's. Lego Darth Vader's specialized TIE Advanced. Like I'm a Lego fiend. And I was like, man,
you're hating this.
This is gonna be awesome.
God.
Well, because it's not a Lego set. It's a Lego Mario board game, basically.
That's the fun part. It's a board game that you can interact with and try to have some fun with everybody.
Nah. Nope. Nope.
And the best part is that you do not have to worry about having to step on those things.
No, you're still gonna.
At least not a lot.
You still might have to step on some of those smaller pieces that you got to put together, but that's okay. So I mean, I saw it. I was like, man, this is gonna be awesome. And then I watched the trailer. I'm like, shit. Oh well.
I'm getting my laughs at you for this one.
It doesn't bother me, but speaking of Lego sets, so what Lego sets would you like to see from Nintendo using Nintendo properties?
Either Yoshi or the Legend of Zelda series.
They have Yoshi in this, so you got that scratch.
Probably Metroid, because it reminded me of a lot of those Alien sets that they had back in the 90s.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Remember her for?
That'd be cool.
That went out and all that other stuff.
Well, I was gonna say Yoshi's a part of the game, but if anything, I would.
Oh, you mean like straight up just Yoshi, a Yoshi thing? Yeah, that'd be cool.
I said that or Legend of Zelda.
Legend of Zelda would probably be better. Legend of Zelda would fit because you could have Link, like a Lego Link. Hell, could you imagine if Lego and Traveler's Tales just took the rag off the bush and made Lego Legend of Zelda?
That would honestly be something that you'd be drooling over.
But Link wasn't the main character. It was a proprietary character called Lego Laz.
Oh.
The puns write themselves. Lego Laz.
Oh.
You just had to go there, didn't you?
I did. But
Bravo.
yeah, I could totally see a Lego Legend of Zelda Lego set with like you could have Ganon in it, but not that cool Ganon everyone keeps on trying to do. We're going old school Blue Pig Ganon with his pitchfork.
Oink oink.
Yeah. Imagine, if you will, what you could do with that Lego. Lego Link to the Past.
Yeah.
I don't know. Lego Metroid could be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, remember the weird alien stuff that they had back in the 90s with like the light up stuff and whatnot?
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Now, see, I wouldn't mind a Lego board game done for Metroid where you basically have to, like, capture shit. Like, capture monsters. And actually have Samus do, bounty hunting. That would make sense. But a Mario board game, I'm like, why?
It's a lot better than the Monopoly Gamer Mario.
Yeah. Because Monopoly itself is just boring. So...
So, yeah. Hey guys, I gotta head out. I'll be right back. But if I don't come back, I have to take a phone call.
All right.
Call somebody back.
Okay, then. So,
if anything, we were ending anyways, but
yeah, we're almost at the end. So, with that being said, anyone want to give their sign outs? Anything they want to pimp out before we wrap things up? Aren't you having a podcast tomorrow, Kanoshi?
It's Kanoshi about Rito here to say that it's been another, decent cast. It seems like, not as energetic, but it's all right.
Yeah. Joel.
Thank you one and all for listening to our podcast. I'm Joe Alien Moonstar. This is Red Fox, and if you want to get in contact with us, well, there's many ways to do it. Email, Twitter, Discord.
That is correct. You can to get in touch with the chat. You can reach me at MrRedFoxBSBuster@gmail.com or at Twitter at Matthew Wesley at Mr. Red Fox 91. You can @ me on Twitter and that type of thing. And I may in the future be jumping onto Twitch as well. So there you go. That's it. Just wanted to let you guys know. So with that being said, that's the end of the podcast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. I'm going to hand out some FU. So FEA, F Activision, F the ESA for basically dropping all those people's basically allowing all those people's private details to get hacked and then canceling the shit. So basically those people's shit got hacked for no goddamn reason.
So what, the E3?
Yeah, well, before all this happened, the ESA, because remember last year people's shit got hacked, and then this year it happened again.
Yeah, E3.
And then they canceled the shit too. It's like, I think
this virus has been a convenient way for them to just say that.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna put E3 in the casket and bury it.
Yeah. Which is good because E3 is trash. Fuck ESA, fuck E3, fuck Activision, fuck EA. Let's see who else. And fuck Sony for putting a first party game on PC. That being said, that's in the podcast. Rate, comment, share, subscribe. Peace, good night, and arrivederci.